Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody had, yes, Josh, I posted the live stream early just for you because I know you're going to join me tonight. Hey everyone, welcome. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody had a really good weekend. It was a good weekend here in New Jersey, at least in my area. It was a good weekend. It's been hot. It was 92 degrees. I think some of you guys are saying you're over like 100 degrees in some of your areas that you guys are in. So I feel like there's a heat wave. We are supposed to get thunderstorms tonight at some point, which I think are supposed to break some of the heat that's around here. So before I dive in, so hi Gary. Hey Josh, how are you? Hey Thomas, how are you? Hey Lisa. Hey Claudia, how are you? Bud Soda, what's going on? Hey Go 77. Hey Ice TV. Hey Monique, what's going on? Yeah, I can only imagine. I think Monique, you were the one who was saying it was like so hot by you, right? Oh, and hey, Carrie, how are you? So, tonight I am going to be talking about summer slowdown, and I need you guys to put it in the chat. So, are you guys seeing a summer slowdown? Are you not seeing a summer slowdown? So, in my area, I am not seeing a summer slowdown. And the reason why I'm actually bringing this up is because it's funny. Last year I feel like at this time, like everybody, like every gig tuber out there was like, it's dead in my market, it's horrible in my market, and I feel like it was like the topic of like every single conversation, and I don't see that really happening in a lot of channels. And hey Mario, how are you? And I just don't know whether it's some people are seeing it, some people are not seeing it. Like I said, I feel like I can't judge just because I'm in, a shore town, and it's been like crazy busy here. Yeah, it's just been crazy busy. So I'm just curious what you guys are seeing, what you guys aren't seeing in your own areas, and I'm going to kind of dive into also um into some of like the apps and how they're kind of working in my area. Hey Robbie, how are you? So it just curious on what everybody is seeing out in the gig world this past week or even the past month.
You really put me on.
Hey Josh, how are you?
I was
Thanks for
just
joining me finally.
here we go. Keep going about your opening statement. I'll listen.
It's all good. So, are you seeing summer slowdown or are you not seeing summer slowdown?
What's summer slowdown?
So, you're not seeing it.
Nah, I'm making double what I was last year.
That's awesome. Did you see the summer slowdown last year?
I think maybe it was because I didn't feel like working as much because it's so hot. Hold on one sec. Lisa, I told you you'd be eating these words.
It's so funny. So you're actually somewhat by Reading. So is Reading still like a touristy area like it used to be back in the day? Is it still a little touristy around the area?
It's pretty ghetto. I I mean I shouldn't say it like that, but it's still a high crime area. I don't work in that area. I work in Pottstown
Okay.
and like Royersford and area. So it's still it's really busy down there, but I hear Reading's really slow. And when I do turn the apps on at the house just to see the offers, I'm like 9 miles for $3. I'm like, okay, that's why people don't work up here.
Yeah. So just to give you guys, like, if you, all of you guys that are listening right now, give you a backstory. So I went to college where Josh actually delivers. So that's, I feel like that's how we've bonded, Josh, over the years, being here. So I somewhat know your area, and I'm gonna date myself. So sorry, everybody, but
Uh,
20 years
but
ago, 23 years ago, when I graduated college, like, it was getting bad then. So I didn't know whether it got like worse or better. I don't know.
uh, it's pretty rough. If you go to where you used to work at, that's like the real rough area. Exeter, like where I live, it's it's got restaurants. It's nicer area, but that you don't want to get lost in Reading. That's how I always look at it.
Yeah,
'Cause
no, it
the-
when I would this is I mean, now I think back on it, it was kind of scary. So I had the Nautica store right in like downtown Reading, and there was a lot of high crime there, and literally my store would get broken into 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I feel like once a week, um, due to a lot of initiations that were happening in the area. And I'm like thinking back on it now, like, you don't think about it as times like, how my store got broken into again. Like, now I'm thinking, oh, that was probably not the smartest thing, like working in that store, and like how potentially bad that area actually really was.
uh, it, I feel I feel safe going into it, but that's because I'm just more street smart. But there's definitely areas where I will not go to. Like, you know, I had to pick the one kid up the one time in deep in Reading, and it was dark as can be, and I'm like, this is nuts. If I get killed, I'm not gonna be happy. I mean, this is like drug dealers. Oh, the highest crime. If you Google Reading area, it's in the top 10 of highest crime areas. And who said why missing? Why missing is good. Now they
Why
got a
missing
lot.
is good.
Now they got a lot of good restaurants, but when I first started on DoorDash, uh, all those restaurants they deliver. It's like you're still taking you into the real bad section of Reading, so it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I know they're building a honey grow into the Y missing area, so that'll be good for them.
Do they still
Because
have the why missing mall over there?
yeah, I think so. And they got they got the works. I mean, it's like a Dave and Buster's for kids, and it's a lot more business worthy over there. But I mean, it's Reading. I mean, if you grew up there, you know what it's about.
Yeah.
So I DoorDash there the first week I ever did DoorDash and never have done it again. 'Cause I like to, and I grew up in Pottstown, so I'm not afraid of Pottstown, even though that's getting worse and worse by the day.
Wow.
So
So you're not seeing summer slow down at all.
I think Spark and the catering apps has helped. So I haven't really DoorDash much. Uh,
Oh, okay.
So
So what app is actually producing like the most for you in your area right now? Your catering app?
DoorDash is still like I'm still making the most out of DoorDash, but I'm not. I don't have no downtime really. So that's what's really helped me. And when I had downtime last year, I probably went home because you're running that AC all day. I'm not trying to be in my car. Uh, I was talking to UDM today. I signed up for Ship, but I signed up for Ship Driver, and I couldn't figure
Okay.
out why I was only getting batch orders, like an Amazon Flex type thing. And somebody told me I signed up for Ship Driving. So it pretty much you pick up like 10 or 11 type orders at the warehouse. and then you deliver like
Oh,
an Amazon Flex.
I didn't
And
realize
it
that there was an actual warehouse around you. I actually thought it was like Midwest. That's actually pretty awesome. I heard it's actually really good.
well, a lot of them go into Jersey, which is funny. Like in I that the warehouse for me is King of Prussia. You know where the King of Prussia Mall is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the warehouse is there, but a lot of into Philadelphia. It's a lot of into Jersey. So I'm not ever gonna do it. And but then I asked to get switched over, and they said they had to put me on the wait list to do the shopping.
Oh, that's interesting. There's a couple people that have been commenting that they're on a wait list for shift as well. I think it just depends on your area, but like I said, get on those waiting lists. I mean, if you can, you never know when it's gonna come available. Shipped in my area. I had a really good ship day last week, I think it was. Their promos are really good when you can hit their promos at like a really good time. That's usually when I use Shipped a lot, just to kind of boost my day. I usually use a promo in order to, do that as well.
Well, ship driving, they have like it seems like a promo every night. It's like you complete 4 different routes and you get X amount of money. But the routes only take like 90 minutes of time.
Huh.
But I'm not probably will never do one because I'm not going to Jersey. It's too far.
Darn that Jersey.
I might come to the Red Bank area and take your money,
Hey, come, you're more than welcome.
and then go to you, and then you can come up to my area and take your husband to college.
I should take a tour. Like I said, I haven't been back in like 23 years, so I'm sure it is changed. I can go down memory lane from like 23 years ago. It would be amazing, honestly, to see what has changed. And I always feel like it has a very special place in my heart because I started seeing my husband around that time, and that's kind of how far we go back. So I feel like it always has like a very special place in my heart. I just haven't had a need or a reason to kind of go back to Reading, but maybe I'll come visit.
Yeah, you got to. And then now that I've made my appearance, you can get off my back about it.
Well, see, now I expect you more. No, I'm just kidding.
This is a weekly thing you expect.
Yes,
All right,
I
well,
have high expectations.
all right, well, I'm gonna jump off because I'm driving, and I'll let somebody else jump on.
Aw, thanks, Josh, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Problem. I'll see you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Josh. Okay, so Josh isn't seeing summer slow down either. Going into like my week last week, Uber Eats, I had one of the best weeks I've had in Uber Eats since last year at this time. I was actually, getting some decent stacked orders going on. I was getting add on orders kind of like left and right. And I feel like their base pay, maybe they didn't have enough drivers out, but I feel like their base pay was higher than normal last year. So I, the base pay was higher than normal, from regular time. So I don't know whether that's just my area as well. And then Grubhub last week. I don't know whether you guys, because of the whole Prime announcement that happened last week, like I had a really good weekend with Grubhub too. I'm not saying every order is fantastic. Still seeing like ridiculous miles, and at the same time, I I feel like they actually lowered their base pay a little bit because I received a $2 and some change order the other day. It wasn't an add-on. It was just a straight $2 and whatever order. I'm like, since when does Grubhub go that low with their base pay? And then I saw a $3 order yesterday as well. So yeah, Grubhub has definitely minus the base pay. I feel like I've been getting some really decent orders from Grubhub as well. So it should be interesting, kind of to see how the next couple of weeks play out, and see how these apps perform. I had that really good shipped day the other day, and I feel like with shipped I really try to use them um when their bonuses are like killer. Right now they have a really crazy bonus going on in my area, and I looked at it, I'm like, there's no way that's happening. So I feel like I'm not even kind of giving it a good old college try, just because I think it's like $195, which I love the $195, but you had to do like 28 shopping deliveries in like 3 days, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know that's gonna happen. But hey, bud soda, what's going on?
Freaking exhausted. I'm not going to make very good money this week, but I'm only doing something as a favor. No gig work for me this week. Technically, I'm being paid 10.99, so if you want to call it that, that's what we came to an agreement on. Told him I didn't want to be a W-2 ever again. He just needed help for the week, detailing cars, so I'm doing that for the week. And if today's any indication, I'm not going to have the energy to go out and do gig work after, because it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day because they're having a huge sale.
So no gig work for, well, you said you might go out like kind of in between you doing like your other thing this week, right?
This weekend I'll be on it, but I'm not sure if I have to work this Saturday or not. That wasn't made clear to me yet.
Okay.
So I'm not making very good money, but I'm just doing one last week person.
Well, you're doing a favor, so it's very nice of you.
Yeah. Kind of don't say no to that guy. It's hard to.
I think we all have those people in our lives that you can never say no to when they ask you something. So, but hey, maybe it gives you like a little bit of a break and a little bit of breather from, doing your mundane, pickups and drop offs throughout the week.
No, if you watch some of my videos, you see what tomfoolery I get up to. That gig challenge the other night, that for charity was a lot of fun. I'll say that. I think it was like 93 and change I did, and then like Alaska Gigs and Guns, they came out with a Hail Mary at the very end and beat us all. I was like, wow. It just died off for me the last hour. I didn't get a order until like 1 minute before the cutoff, so I was like, dang it. That's kind of, hopefully more of us can do that in the future. Like, have a little challenge going on. Maybe we can get New York versus NJ going on. Got you and Flex.
And so I think me and Flex
Lisa
versus,
or something like that.
we can maybe get them involved. I don't know. We'll see. But no, I loved watching you guys like really try your hardest on some of these challenges. So it was fun to watch between you, Lisa, Long Island Dash Experience, and Alaskan Gigs and Guns. It was really good thing that you guys did.
I was all in. My risk level was above my head. But like, I did an order after that. I ended up getting stranded with a flat till 2 in the morning. After I did really big order, I did 4 orders, and 3 of them were Wendy's, drive-through only. They didn't want to give me all 3. They're like, you can only do 2 at a time. I'm like, one's all frosty. I'm like, come on, seriously. So they ended up giving me all 3. I can tell they're a little miffed at me, but oh well. It's like, well, you're on 2 platforms now. Sorry. Well, the money was too good to ignore, and my Taco Bell is under renovation. They're closed right now, so kind of got to take my money where I can get it. But man, they were disorganized for dinner. You saw in my video there. Is like, I waited like 20 minutes for all my orders to come out.
Oh, that's frustrating. I felt
Very.
like yesterday I had a lot of wait times yesterday, not so much over the weekends, but I don't know whether it's because they're kind of going back to like, short staffed again. But even like my Chipotle yesterday, they closed their dining room and you can only do online pickups only in the store. I don't know, they just didn't have enough staff and they didn't want to like close the store completely, but there were just a lot of wait times around my restaurants even yesterday.
Yeah. Um, that sucks hard when former Rival one goes drive through only in the daytime. You're never going to get out of there in a decent amount of time. It seems like I have my late night restaurants that are pretty reliable during the late night rushes. So I mean, I spend usually 15 minutes max, and that's when they're slammed. So if I can get out of that drive through 15 minutes, I'm usually pretty happy. There's usually a peak pay, so I'm not doing any of that right now because I can't sit here and work till 3 in the morning when I have to be up at 6 in the morning. I hate mornings.
We know you like to get those late starts, so 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is early for you.
Very. I was up at 5 this morning. Not
Ooh.
fun. So I'm pretty bushed. My best time to do gig work is like 11 on. Breakfast, I hit it up a few times. I worked a couple 21-hour days last week, and it was not very hopping. Spark was hopping one day until the system crashed. I'm sure did you experience that? It was a nationwide thing.
Luckily, that happened on a day I wasn't working, knock on wood. Spark, I was actually doing food delivery, was like really happening in my area. So I didn't have a need to turn on Spark. But as soon as like the email came through, I sent it out to everybody just to say, hey, just so everybody knows about it.
You were very fortunate. But what sucks about that day is like there was barely any actual, normal customers. It was just us gig drivers, and we're getting our orders quickly. Like I was out of there 5 to 10 minutes, 15 max most times, when Walmart's usually like a 20-25 minute wait every time. So I won't take an order below $20 for that reason. And all the orders that I was getting were 20 to 35. So I was making stupid money until it happened. Oh, so upset. And then
Yeah.
I basically did nothing for 2 hours because I just wasn't getting anything else in.
Yeah, it was I forget who made the comment when it crashed, that they were actually in the middle of a batched order, and it was giving them all the wrong addresses to deliver like the batched order from, and they had to actually go back to Walmart and return the items because they couldn't deliver it because none of the addresses were correct on where to go to deliver the items. So it was a huge cluster, what, of an order.
Well, no, I a lot of people don't like batched orders, and if you have more things going on in your market, maybe they're not the best for you. But during the slow times in the afternoon, especially, $40-50 guaranteed. I mean, I'm on that all day. I did a $35 DoorDash one, and I regretted that because it took me an hour and a half. So
yeah, I've done batched orders I feel like the middle of the afternoon is like the perfect time to do a batched order, just because when food delivery slows down at like 2 o'clock, if you jumped on a batched order, it'll take you like an hour and a half to 2 hours. It'll get you through that slump of the afternoon before like dinner time rush kicks in. And to your point, it's like a guaranteed 30, 40, sometimes $50, depending on the batched order. I'm just very picky about my batched orders because I have like my Walmart right now. Well, I'm picky about Walmart in general just because my Walmart is really close to a couple of beach towns. Like it's literally only like a town away. So depending on which direction I go in, like traffic can be a nightmare. And there's a lot of high rise apartment complexes. So I have to be really choosy about making sure that there's not a lot of apartments in them and that they're not going to beach during trafficy times to make sure that something that should take me like an hour and a half doesn't take me like 3 hours to complete based off of like those parameters. So like I've been a little choosy with Walmart just because of traffic purposes around my area, like especially like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's literally a nightmare trying to maneuver around a lot of my area.
I say I've been very fortunate with the batch orders where 90% of the time they don't go to apartments at all. And if it is, like, then half that time if it is, it's just like units with A and B. That's it. It's not, no, here, go up to the 10th floor and deliver to this random apartment number.
Yeah.
I had that one once and it aggravated me because it was a signed customer. And I'm pretty sure the person was home. I think they were passed out in the recliner because they could hear the TV. It's like, God. Tried to call them, called support. They tried. Nothing. I had to return it to the store after. And I was pretty upset about that. That was a giant waste of my time. And
Yeah, the biggest waste of my time was like that one batch order. And I don't know whether any of you guys have come across it. I've only come across it twice now that like when you do a drop off and like say the person's not home for like their call box, like it's actually like an Amazon customer and then you can't get through because it actually goes to an Amazon phone number, not the actual customer. And then you have to call support. And like the last time I called support, they're like, oh yeah, we don't know how to get through this number either. I'm like, great, thanks, support. And then you ended up having to return it anyway. But like I've actually had that twice with like actual Amazon customers, I guess ordering from Walmart. I guess that's how it works. I don't know how that really the logistics of people ordering Amazon and Walmart.
They have third-party sellers on their website, just like Amazon does, and some share the same thing. So some of it is like literally on Amazon and Walmart.com. So it's literally pretty much the same thing. And yeah, lots of people don't update their information, and that's when it comes to a full frustration. It's not just one single delivery. If you're on a big batch order, it's like keep it moving. You got to be efficient. You have a snag, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah. And Carrie, I agree with you. I just feel like batched orders and on some areas you just have to be choosy and careful just because you really have to look, in my opinion, you have to look at every address so you know where you're going. So that way in my area, like I just have to make sure that there's a couple of bad areas. I have to make sure that they're not going to the bad areas, but also apartments are a big thing when you get closer to the shore area. So like I said, some of these orders that you think could be like, oh, I can get this done in, an hour and a half, easy. And then all of a sudden it's 3 hours later and it's like, why did I take this batched order? That was really stupid.
Yeah, it can be hit or miss, and you can really bone yourself very easily. You got to be smart about it. Again, just because that big $50 number comes out, but if it's peak time, or you could be making money off other apps, yeah, probably don't take that. I saw one for 70 one day, and I tried to snag it, and someone snagged it maybe a half second before I did. It was a 14-stop run. I saw that.
Ooh, I've never seen a 14 stop. I've never seen a 14 one before. The most I've ever seen is 12.
8, 10, or 12. But sometimes those 12 ones often have like one person will have 2 different orders, so it's actually not even that many. You just got to complete it twice because you're delivering 2 different packages to them. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain aside from that. Have you never run across that?
Sometimes I did, but not like on a 14 one. I've come across that like on a 12 one where it ended up being like 10 stops instead of 12 stops. So I've seen it on that. I've never seen a 14 one before. The
I've
best
only
one I
done
ever,
one
say the
14
best.
stop one, and it had 2 different orders, so basically it made it a 10 stop. You know, I had 2 different B to the same person, and that made it a lot easier. Well, it was a lot of driving miles. Like this last one I did took me all the way out, way deep into Sackett's Harbor on like a back private beach road where people have summer camps.
Okay.
And GPS pinged me wrong. I stopped somewhere. I'm like, hey, do you know where this address is? They're like, no, we have no idea. I'm like, but I kept following the road all the way down. Ended up being the newest built place, built last year probably, and that was the address. Built, like a mile further down on that private drive. That was a pain. I think I have that on YouTube if anyone wants to watch. I did it live.
I'll have to go back and see it. I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah, it's a long video. You don't have to watch it. I know you're very busy. I like to listen as I do my work usually. Now I'm just BSing because I'm trying to burn time here.
Yeah. Thomas, can Spark go against Shipped for you, Kim? I've never really probably tried to work just both Spark and Shipped at the same time. I feel like I'm just starting to scratch the surface on Spark scheduling and how it kind of works with multi-apping. I feel like I was confused for a couple of weeks on how to use multi-apping with Shipped. I feel like I would need a really big strategy with Shipped and Spark just because of Spark's round robins drop at the 20th of the hour, but then you have to, if it's a shop and deliver for Shipped, you would have to complete it before the beginning of the hour so you're ready for the round robin at the next hour. And then I almost feel like you would have to skip maybe Shipped for an hour to complete the Spark. I think I feel like you would have to have a pretty decent strategy with Shipped and Spark working together. If any of you guys do Shipped and just Spark together, let me know what your strategy is, because I feel like you would need something going into that. Not just, I feel like it's one of those things where you just wouldn't just turn on everything and go, okay, I'll take that order. And I don't know how they would really jive together just based off of scheduling. I don't know. Let me know if anybody else does that.
It is incredibly hard to stack anything on Spark. I've done it because I know how to route my area because I know my market so well, and that's one thing I wanted to talk on was routing. Like, it seems to be the new to-go thing to do. Like, have your orders that you're taking planned out for all of your journey. In some markets like yours, that probably wouldn't work. Markets like mine that are more spread out and rural, it works quite well. But you do get that one person who might be getting a little impatient with you, but that's a risk you take doing it. But I have to do that to make my money. Sometimes you got to be a little cold. I try to kill them with kindness, but it doesn't always work. I had someone freak out on Instacart the other day, and I know she rated me 1 star, and she put up all her items as damaged. But the thing is, she was the second stop on that Instacart, and I even told her so. Like, she was ordering for her husband, and I felt bad for him because he was getting her wrath. Wow. She was out of state. It was to her military husband who was about to get deployed, I guess. So I was all confused on that because, like, the guy had his own and everything. Like, if she didn't pull his hip back out,
Hold on, bud. I think you're breaking up.
Very spotty. Yeah, Surfier's very spotty. So I might have to peace out because I'm right by the Canadian border, St. Lawrence River.
Okay. Well, thanks, bud.
All right. Someone else hop in. Take care, guys.
Have a good week, bud. Okay, so hi Sarah, how are you? And hey, just gigging it. Just gigging it. How are you?
I feel good. Thanks for asking.
My Siri just turned on my iPad. I'm like, who's that voice talking to me? That's weird.
I don't have
Okay. Um, so just real quick. So Thomas, I think that might be a challenge for me. I don't know whether it really is possible to do Shift and Spark. That I think that would be a decent challenge. It would make me think a little differently about how my day would actually go. Huh? That might be a challenge there. I don't know. We'll kind of see. And then so pull my gig, you're going into a Walgreens shop order. I've been seeing, I don't know whether you guys have been seeing, I've been actually getting a lot more shopping pays with um with DoorDash, even Uber Eats. I've just been getting a lot more shopping pays, and they've been paying like I took a chance on one the other day. It was 25 items, but it was paying like $26. And the way I was looking at it, and, um, yeah, I the way I was looking, I'm like $26. It's literally equivalent to you like a Spark order, and I didn't have to go all the way over to Walmart to do it. So I did it, and I said, "Hey, I got $26. So go DoorDash." So interesting, Anthony. Yeah, definitely come on in. If you don't see the link, it's up top. But yeah, anybody else wants to join, please feel free to hit the link and join me tonight. Um, but yeah, I've been seeing a lot more shop and delivers in my area. Some good and some not so good. Once again, I feel like just like with every other app, you have to be really selective and choosy to make sure that you're choosing the right ones to do. So that way you're not kind of shopping for like 20 items and you're only getting like paid like 20, I mean $10 to do like 20 items. I know with me shop and delivers, I am really, choosy when it comes to shop and delivers just because I want them to be quick, I want them to be easy, and I want to get them delivered so it doesn't interrupt too much of my flow, especially going into any kind of food delivery I have. Saves here. I think Anthony's trying to connect, but he's not quite there. So, Anthony, if you can hear me, I will bring you in once you connect. Um. So yeah, so shop and delivers have been, really decent for me lately. Hey, Vicky, how are you? So, Carrie, I did a corner shop. It probably took me an hour. The customer tipped me 20, so it made it $51. Awesome. That's amazing. That's a really good one. Um, That's actually really, really awesome. I really think like some of these like can really boost up, your pay for the day and get you closer to making your goals. Keep trying to get Anthony. Are you there, Anthony? Okay. I thought I saw him pop up for like a half a second. Um, So that's kind of it. I think I saw in the comment section, has anybody seen Grubhub Shop and Delivers? I have not seen one yet. If you guys have seen one, let me know. But I have not seen one yet. But it is really super annoying. I have to say, every time I try to toggle on to Grubhub after going off, it says, "Do you have your card with you today?" And I'm like, "Oh, Grubhub, yes, I have my freaking card. Leave me alone." Oh. Yeah. No, let's see. Nope, still don't have Anthony. We keep trying to connect Anthony. Oh. Hey, Tony, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. What's going on? What's new with you?
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
There we go. All right. I had YouTube still running on the other tab, apparently. I was trying to test out the studio that I set up for tonight's stream that we're going to do with Rideshare Rodeo, and well, we still have the kids, so it's not going to happen.
Oh,
But
I
I
can't, I
still
can't
wanted
wait for it to happen though. It's getting postponed to next week, right?
in 2 weeks. It's the 26th.
Okay, in 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about it. What were
So
you guys going to do? Because I was intrigued by the thumbnail.
you know what? Steve, he has it kind of under wraps. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. You can watch his fun day thing from Sunday, and you can kind of get an idea of what him and Driver Sensei were talking about. But yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what we're doing.
It'll be a surprise, but I'm excited to see all of you guys on at one time.
Yeah, for sure. And so how's the audio on this? Because I'm using my wireless Go. This is my first time going live with it. I was testing it out on StreamYard with my wife, but just checking in and see how the audio sounds to you.
The audio sounds good.
Awesome, because it's the only
Where's your
2
wife?
mic
She should
system
be
I
with
have. Hey, how's it going, Anthony?
Hey, Anthony, how are you? Oh, did we lose him again?
Oh, a little bit frozen. Yeah, she's with the kids.
Oh, well,
yeah,
tell her I said hi.
I will tell her. But I wanted to touch a little bit on Spark. I've been trying out a few things. Oh, I can't look at my stats because I'm using my iPhone for the camera. So in Denver, I've been getting at the round robin, I've been getting 2 orders at the same time. Like it'll send me one at the 20 mark, and then at like the 22 mark, it'll send me somebody else's that they didn't take. So like I've been trying to see, does it affect my stat for acceptance if I don't accept it? And if I do accept it, does it affect my on-time arrival stat? Because they're both at the 20, they're both will be at that 45 for the pickup, and you can't pick up until 45. And even I've tried that airplane mode thing, and they never come out any earlier than like 43 or 44 anyways. So I think it does affect your stat. So I'm like thinking at the 20, if you get one that you like, turn off your Spark until that set of round robins has passed, and then at like 30 or 35 you can turn it back on maybe, so that way everything is first come first serve at that point, so you're not getting acceptance rate hits.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I've been also noticing, and it doesn't happen every time. I feel like they changed lately the shop and deliver drop times in my area. They don't come at the round robin of the 20th of the hour. They're not in my area. They haven't been putting them out until like the 26th or 27th of the hour, because I feel like they're trying to push the grocery pickup first.
Right.
And then the shop and deliver. So I feel like they like, okay, we'll ding you on your acceptance rate for not taking these 3 grocery orders, but then we'll give you a shop and deliver because now all of the grocery pickups are done.
So what I think, I don't know exactly what triggers a shop and deliver versus a curbside pickup, because I've had it where I've done a curbside pickup for 1 order, and then like everything else coming in has 2 orders. And I've also gotten the shop and delivers like 5 or 6 minutes before the grocery drop or the curbside drops happen. Now, one thing I don't know is if, even though it doesn't say first come first serve on those in-store pickups, if that affects my acceptance rate, because I know I've not selected those and my acceptance rate was still going up, and I know I wasn't accepting enough round robins to balance out those in-store pickups, because the first time they drop into my phone, it doesn't say first come first serve, but the second time and afterwards it does. And then once it's made it a whole nother hour, then it says accept this by whatever time, and the first time they come in, and then after that it doesn't. So I don't know if those count against you or for you at all.
Yeah, I feel, and this is, I mean, I have nothing, I feel like I have nothing to really prove this just by my like intuition and like what I've been observing. I feel like when they give you the timer of 30 seconds for the grocery orders, like that's the ones that count against your acceptance rate. But once you see them pop up and they're like 2 minutes or even 3 minutes, I feel like those don't go against your acceptance rate. Does that make sense?
Right. So what I've noticed is on the round robins, it'll say accept this by a certain time.
Right.
And for like curbside pickup, it's different than shop and deliver. So on shop and deliver, I don't know if those count against your acceptance rate either. I don't know if it's just the curbside pickups. So I just haven't done enough Spark to test all of these things out. I know there's videos out about it, but like it just doesn't seem to line up with how my stats move up and down versus what I'm like intentionally trying to do based on the information I've gathered off of YouTube.
Yeah, I like I said, I feel like we're all kind of like guessing at the ways. Like I don't know whether there's like an exact science of Spark. I think that's like the one thing about Spark that like drives me crazy because they don't even tell you, okay, this is kind of like how our system works. Like round robin start at this, this starts at this. We just know by like trial and error because batch orders don't come out until like the 30th of the hour. Like I feel like we would be a lot better drivers if we were well informed, and I feel like we would have better acceptance rates if we kind of knew how their systems worked. And a lot of us, I feel like, are guessing at Spark
Right.
and what works and what doesn't work. Like I feel like shop and delivers, I feel like if they don't come out at their 20th of the round robin, they don't count against your acceptance rate. I feel like they only go towards your acceptance rate. Um, but the thing, what I don't understand, and granted, I feel like there's now enough drivers in my area, I don't see this anymore. And I know some of you guys do see this. It used to be when a round robin came in, I would get like 4 or 5 offers on my screen to choose from. I don't even
Right.
get that anymore. I only get like one. And like, how do they know your acceptance rate? I mean, I guess they just based it off of you choosing one out of like the 3 or 4. And I hope those 4 don't go against your acceptance rate because you're only choosing one out of the 4. I mean, I'm assuming that's how it works, but there's nothing very concrete on this is exactly how your acceptance rate works for Spark.
Yeah, because I've been asking like everybody. Redshirt Lisa knows I asked her in her live stream this weekend, and in Dashing Grandpa's live stream last week. Like, if you get more than one round robin, because I get it all the time in Denver, if you don't accept both of them, does it count against you for whatever you declined? Because it's up to like 3 or 4 if you don't accept 2. If you accept 2, they won't send you additional ones. But if you let one roll, then they'll send you the next one that somebody else was like, no, I don't want that. And then like I posed you a question on that earlier, like if you do accept them both, does your on time take a hit? And I think it does, because my on time has
I
been
think it
going
does.
down.
Unless I feel like you take a hit on your on time, unless it doesn't say ASAP. I feel like you take a hit on your on time arrival time. At least
Right.
that's
And
what I've noticed.
I don't think it should count against you for on time if you're literally working the app. Like you're
Yeah.
you're like waiting for the order, and your next order is in your queue. Like if you get to that order in the allotted time that the GPS says it's back to the store, give or take the 15-minute window they give you normally, then I don't think that it should count against you. But it most likely does. And that's why I was thinking like maybe the best strategy is to get your round robin. If you're getting multiple round robins at the drop, get your round robin, turn off your app, let the round robin time go through, then turn it back on, and then everything is first come, first serve. And I don't think first come, first serve really counts against your stats if it says ASAP, because ASAP is as soon as you can get there, right? As soon as possible.
What I've learned to do, first of all, I've learned a couple things in my area, and I just talked about this, I think, with Bud Soda, is like because I'm in short traffic time, like if I don't get a spark first thing early in the morning, like once the afternoon hits, like I'm food delivery because the traffic is too much for me to go the 10 miles to my Walmart during my time.
Oh,
So
right.
the time is in the morning for a spark for me. I've learned that if I turn it on for the 20th of the hour, and if I don't get something I like, I turn it off. And that's when I noticed that shop and deliveries in my area have been coming in at like the 26th or between like the 26th and 28th, right before the drop of batched orders. So I turn it back on during the 26th or 28th of the hour, and I'll either get a
Right.
shop and deliver or I'll get what people have declined and it doesn't go against my acceptance rate. So I'll get dinged the
Yeah.
first time around. But just you'll appreciate this. Where did it just go? So I've got an acceptance rate of 4%. Don't worry, my acceptance rate is 12% right now. Besides like the 3
I know.
Walmarts that are in my area, like the 2 are like literally 40-ish minutes away. So I would be late even if I took an order from any of those other Walmarts.
I will tell you, I've noticed since, because I finally got over 40% on the acceptance rate. And once I did notice an increase in round robins where I thought it was super slow. Like maybe we're oversaturated, and we probably are in general, but like for this peak times, we're not, So I think that your acceptance rate does matter with how soon you get access to the round robins and which ones you get access to first. So like when I was getting closer to 40, I was getting round robins that had like $3, $4 tips and lower, up down to 0 tip. And then once I got up over 40, I was getting like 7 for the singles and 14 and up for most of the drops. But then my on-time arrival has dipped down into the orange. So now I've got to figure out, I know or acceptance rate isn't the only stat that's going to take your priority level down. It's just the easiest one to lose your green on. Besides customer rating, like you deliver broken eggs to somebody like it was your fault, and they'll give you a 3 or 2 or whatever.
I think I feel like it's funny because when it comes to Shipt, I am at like a 4.95 in Shipt. Like and like I communicate and like I get like really good orders for Shipt. I do the same thing for Spark that I do for Shipt. I mean, mine is communicating in between
because it doesn't let you.
For shopping, and like I can't get above 4.6, and I'm like, come on, people, I know I'm good at what I'm doing. Come on, give me something to go by. Like I don't know whether it's like the Walmart customer doesn't respond. Maybe they don't want communication. I don't know. But
I do send them the same text that I do for my DoorDash, except for I modify it so it's like groceries versus food.
Yeah.
So when I send them my closing one, I'll say, "Thank you for your order. I appreciate you." This is ad-libbing yet because I don't know exactly what it says, but it says, "Thank you for your order. See you again next time. Please rate me 5 stars, and I appreciate your tip." Whether they tipped or not, I still send it. Sometimes it's a passive-aggressive thank you.
I'll have to try that. I think a lot, and just once again, I have nothing to base this on. I think a lot of my Spark ratings have to do with the stupid freaking reusable bag program in New Jersey. I think there's still a lot of people disgruntled about not getting bags anymore in New Jersey, and they think that it's like the driver's fault that we're just like literally leaving items on the ground. Granted, I went out and it's tax deductible, so I got like a box of plastic bags, and I've been using the plastic bags because I'm like, I am no longer leaving these people's food just like randomly on their porch. I'm done with it. I'm done with the bad ratings. So sorry.
Well,
Walmart.
I did see that on one of your videos. Maybe it was yesterday or the day before that you said you bought some plastic bags off of Amazon, because even though like they sent out the information that the store should have boxes for you, the stores just don't know what you're talking about.
They really don't. The very first day that they sent out that email, I'm like, okay, let's test this out. Let's see how organized my Walmart is. I went to customer service. The line was like down and around. So of course, like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe if like I sneak like onto the side of the counter, go, hey, do you have the boxes? That's what I did. I said, hey, I'm a Spark driver. Do you have the boxes for us? And like, what are you talking about? What boxes? Like absolutely no clue. I'm like, well, there goes the boxes.
Do they have them at when you do the curbside pickup?
Curbside they do, but for shop and deliver, no.
Have you asked your curbsiders what?
Like, they said that they only have them in the back by them. They don't have them up front. But they said that they did have a couple in like the pickup area where you go for your batched orders, but no one's ever there. The only time that like there is someone there is when you go to pick up a batched order.
What if you talk to them on your next curbside and see if you get a shop and deliver, if they would mind if you stop by and wait for them to come out and deliver one of the other people's orders and ask them for some boxes?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I like this.
Is he back? Oh.
No, but
yeah, that's the tip.
Here it is. That's what you're talking about. I'm gonna actually have to copy and paste this and use it.
Well, just to be honest with you, that's basically a copy and paste that I got off of Chad's channel when it was still Chad something, like Chad a bunch of numbers, before he changed his name to the gig stuff. The Gig Economist is before he even had that name. There's a video up that he did for DoorDash and customer ratings, and I was like getting trashed on DoorDash, and at the time it was before the pay change, so I didn't even know how to work DoorDash really. I did like maybe 5 or 6 DoorDashes before the pandemic. But yeah, that was getting annihilated, and I was like, how do I, like, I'm delivering the food, I'm literally picking them up and delivering it, and I'm not like slowing down, I'm not delivering it after the time, etc. And I was so confused of how, I was like, DoorDash customers are just so picky, because Uber people, for the most part, unless they want a free ride, they rate you 5 stars and give you a tip.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Walmart
these DoorDash
customers are a lot pickier than a lot of these, even shipped where like shipped like their customer service. It's customer service. Like I feel like they're even pickier than that. I'm like, people, what do I need to do for you? Do I need to like do like a happy dance when I am your iRing camera just so you give me a 5 stars? Like, what do I need to do?
Right. So it's like, I think if you look at it this way, like in general, when you go to Walmart and you see your average Walmart customer, not like the stereotypical, these are the people of Walmart people, but like just on the average day, I mean, I used to work for Walmart, so I've seen it all. But people are generally frustrated at Walmart because there's either they have to return something, and like you said, that line is super long, but a lot of them have like their money center and their customer service center combined instead of split. So like people are just agitated in general. So like you go to Walmart, when you were like, even on these online orders, when people are ordering it, like it says it has something, and then they either get a substitute or no substitute, and they're aggravated at that. So in my experience, people are generally aggravated at the idea of Walmart, but they have to go there because it's usually the most cost effective for the budget.
Yeah.
So I think in general, like when we're getting graded by these people, they're just already in an agitated mood. So we get the brunt of it because we're Walmart to them, even though we're not.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes that's why we don't even sometimes see tips. I feel like some customers might think like we actually work for Walmart, and they're like, "Ah, it's
Uh-huh.
just a Walmart employee. Why would I
Yeah.
have to tip a Walmart employee?" Like, I don't think they realize that we're actually independent contractors and drivers that just deliver or shop for Walmart. Like, I don't think I think they just associate us with being, an employee of Walmart. Like, why do I need to tip a Walmart employee? Like, I feel like that's a lot of times, well, I should say sometimes, why we don't see some tips come through on our orders.
Yeah. So Cody, I seen him ask a question. I will do a live stream so that we don't have to crowd up Kim's live stream with those questions.
Yeah, he can ask a question. Definitely ask a question.
But in the meantime, I just was going to say I did a delivery last night for one of my last deliveries. And the person texted me because when on the way, I do text them that I'm in a Tesla Model Y. I'm on my way. If I had multiple orders, I have bags because I do put their cold stuff in my catering bag. But the person texts me back. They're like, "Hey, did Walmart tip you because it's not showing up? My tip isn't showing up on the app." And I was like, Walmart only tips us drivers when somebody tips us in um, the Walmart website when they do their order. And if I do get tipped through the app, then Walmart gives me the tip. But Walmart in themselves do not tip the drivers.
Yeah,
So
I actually
what you're saying is true. People think it.
I was on a Facebook group. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and someone had gotten a feed off of like the Walmart website. I guess it was like two customers like were making comments to Walmart. They couldn't
Right.
understand how they got charged. Did you see that? They got charged like $7 and they didn't want to tip the driver $7, and Walmart automatically charged them $7, and to find out that that's like the standard tip that Walmart suggests for the drivers, but customers don't realize it when they're doing checkout. So
Yeah.
sometimes when we get tip baited, it's because the customer didn't want to do the automatic $7 tip and they take it away. But that was coming like directly from customers, like really not realizing the tipping structure of Walmart.
Right. Yeah, because it is kind of new, but it's been at least a year since it's been that way because
Mhm.
DoorDash sent that communication that before I was on Spark, that they would be able to put the tips in ahead of time so we didn't have to wait. Because when I was doing the Top Dasher thing to test it out, I was having a ton of Walmart orders and I would get tipped on probably like 50% of them. But then when they switched it, I could see it with hidden still, but I would see that there was tips on some of them instead of the standard like 350 that it was doing. But yeah, I did have a lady that I delivered her groceries and I went inside her house because she's in a wheelchair. I don't typically go in people's houses, but this lady, she's like, she really needed help. So I helped her, and I had seen in her app where on the customer notes, it says something about she put in a specific note. I can't remember. Oh, it's because people, if they don't go inside for her, like they're supposed to deliver it in her garage by her ramp where her wheelchair could make it down. And because we don't see those notes right away, or she thought she was talking to actual Walmart, like you were saying, like there's people that leave notes like don't get me expired yogurt, I want ripe avocados. Like we never see those notes until like on some of the people till we've delivered the first order, you know?
Yeah.
So I always try to, if I see those kind of notes, I just try to send them a message. Hey, we're a third party. We don't see these notes until we get yours. We're in the step to go to your house. If this stuff is not right, you can always contact the store.
Yeah, I had that a couple of weeks ago. It was a lady. She wanted her items double bagged. She didn't want more than 3 items in a bag. Like she was, and this is before, I guess it was a couple of months ago because it was before New Jersey did the whole bag thing, but she was very specific. Like, I need it double bagged. I won't want more than 3 items in the bag. I'm an elderly woman. Like, it was so very specific. Please check the expiration dates. Like, I had literally, as soon as I saw it, I had sent her a message. I am sorry for the inconvenience, but I am only a third-party driver picking it up. I have no control over how long or packs or picks your item. So
I wonder how she's.
She actually greeted me at the door. She was waiting for me. I'm like, oh, this can go really bad. That's the only thing I can say. I'm like, this could go really bad. But she was actually super, super nice. And she goes, I know it's not you, sweetie. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Don't kill the driver. Thank you.
I think I remember you saying that on one of your first Spark videos. You're going through that. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Cody, you should jump in like Kim said.
Yeah, more the merrier. Thomas, notes are the loves of orders. Hey, the more notes, the better. If it helps me get your order to your house quicker. I think I said it in like my video yesterday. I had like, and this is not Spark. I think it was DoorDash, but the customer left like a paragraph of I live blank, my house is blank, I live on the right side, not the left side. My mailbox has a dog on it. Like, it was so very specific, and I'm like, this person like got burnt. I feel like the more detailed they are, the more burnt they got on whatever order they didn't get.
Right. The exact like measurement of how tall the grass is and everything.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I just was thinking about the last thing you said about the lady with the double bags. I wonder how she's doing and faring now that Walmart doesn't give any bags.
I know. She was in I felt bad. And to your point, she was in a wheelchair too. And so I didn't go into her house, but I did put her groceries like inside like the entryway to like where her door is, because I'm like, I'm not gonna make this poor lady lift like, and she had like a case of water, and like how is she gonna get this case of water? Anyway, I did the same thing. I put it in her entryway of her house. And then I also one time had a customer, I don't know if you've ever had this. I did a shop and deliver, and I still remember it to this day. She did 29 items, and she was also an elderly lady. I literally brought it into like her foyer, and she literally went item by item, because you can't leave until I count to make sure my 29 items are here. And I'm like, okay. So she literally like counted each and every item, and I'm like, but she gave me a cash tip. She gave me a $10 cash tip, so it was worth it. But
yeah, that's good. Hey, how's it going?
You? What's up? How's it going?
Wow, you sound pretty good on the headphones. I'm used to watching all this stuff or not even watching, just having it on my YouTube Premium in the back of the app on an AirPod. So
nice. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard for me to hear, so that's why I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what's going on? How are you guys doing in Alaska?
It feels like fall today. It's been cloudy. We actually got some rain last night. We were supposed to go out and do a little fly-in today, and there was a schedule mix-up at the school, so I had to redo it for next Tuesday. So, oh well.
What time is it in Alaska?
That's the second thing.
Almost a little after 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the second thing that's been rescheduled. Your flight video, and then the video tonight.
I know. So now I'm just waiting for a Spark order out here. It's still getting ready. 12 items.
So congratulations is in order for winning the New York and Alaska
Oh, yeah.
challenge over the weekend.
Oh, that was wild. That was something. The
Hey,
word, huh? I know where you're going with this.
yeah, you gotta pee.
I had to pee. That was awful. And then right as I got to where I could finally pee, I'm like gripping the steering wheel. Like I'm just like, ah! And then all of a sudden I hit this pothole in the parking lot. I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
I thought for sure, yeah. I made it. I got in there. And oh man. The kicker would have been if the bathroom had the little red sign after you lock it where it says occupied. That would have been the end
Right.
for
Dude, I know you would have went into the women's.
You know what? I might have.
You would have been like, I identify.
Yeah. I don't. I got a piss.
I've got like 4 minutes of woman identification, so I can go pee.
Something.
So what
It's
questions do you have for
uncomfortable
Tony?
for me because I've had that at a 7-Eleven where the men's room is closed, and I'm like, I really don't want to go into the women's room, even though it's the only bathroom.
Yeah. So I was curious about the Tesla thing.
Right.
Do you? No, I don't know if you can. If you can't answer, just say I can't. Whatever. Because I don't want to be too personal. Do
Right.
you rent your Tesla through Hertz or do you go through Test Driver?
I go through Test Driver.
Okay.
So
All right. Cool.
Hertz has got zero to do with it. Hertz Teslas came in like a year and a half after he started doing his thing. So he's got 33 of his own, unless he's picked up more, which he usually tells me if he's picking some up, but I don't. By the end of the year, he's supposed to have like another 30 Teslas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I was just curious. Because I was looking at the website. It was a little bit vague, but it was really cool. So we got signed up all the way here in Anchorage. So
yeah, he said
That's
that he had a
awesome.
conversation with you and that you're a pretty cool guy and everything. So
nice.
it's just a bottleneck of when Tesla's releasing the vehicles that are on order, as well as he had a lot of red tape to go through for the financing that he had, because he buys all of them cash. So his financing is usually through actual investors instead of banks. But yeah.
Well, that's one heck of a bankroll.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm driving. So last week I drove 1,200 miles last week between work and personal. So
right.
I guesstimated I'm about $300 a week on fuel. So I was looking at the price that they have on Test Driver, and I thought, that's a smoking deal for what.
Yeah. So what I seen is like when I don't know, I'll do a trip count for next week, and once I get to 1,500 miles, I'll see how many kilowatts I've consumed. Granted, weather will affect that a little bit, but in general, I'm driving at like 240 kilowatts per mile or something like an hour per mile. I don't know the rating.
All right. Hey, thank you.
I'll let him grab that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right,
so
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there's a certain, like, instead of MPG, there's like a kilowatt per mile hour or something like that. But 1,500 miles, I'll tell you about how many kilowatts that was. And then I can even go up and see what the Tesla chargers are costing per kilowatt in your area and give you a general idea of about how much 1,500 miles would be for charging cost. Granted that you don't charge at home for a little bit.
So where we park our vehicle, we can plug our cars in outside because it's so cold. But he was mentioning that might just be a trickle charge that might not actually work. But I'm like, well, I'm half redneck. I can just, rig an extension cord out my kid's bedroom window.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's people, if you look up Tesla charging from dryers, like there's people who get these like 50-foot like RV cables and plug it into their dryer outlet from their apartment. And it hangs out their balcony and runs down the grass. Like they charge overnight through their dryer port.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, it's legitimately, I mean, especially if your power is included with your rent, you definitely need to take advantage of those kilowatts.
So let me ask you this, because Gary and I were debating this last week. If you were only doing food delivery and not rideshare, do you think that it would be worth doing?
Through Test Driver? Yeah, because if I were only doing food delivery, I would just go with the Model 3 standard range plus. That cost is $350 a week. And like Cody was saying, his fuel alone was $300, and that includes commercial insurance, so you don't have to worry about if your insurance is covering you or not. If you pick up, like I see Nova Dasher and Pedro, they've gotten some like side business through doing some catering orders off app. Like you're covered on that as well.
Screens on the phone.
Gary just said mic drop because he won his point.
But if it's through Tesla, Hertz car rental program, and my 4-year-old's coming, so just so you're aware. But the Tesla, if you're doing only Uber Eats in Denver, I don't think it'd be worth it because you can't really multi-app. You could get away with it, but if you get into an accident, then you're screwed, whether it's your fault or somebody else's. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say that the Tesla version is.
Hey, Daddy, is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Do you want to say hi? Come over here.
Hi.
Is it okay if she pops on?
Yeah, please do.
Hey, who's that?
Hi. Look,
Hi,
there you
cutie.
are. Wave over here at the phone. Like that.
What's your name?
Oh, here. Let me take that. All right, go ahead. Now ask her.
What's your name?
Do you want to say what your name is?
What's her name?
Well, ask her what her name is. She asked what your name is.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I'm Kim. It's so nice to meet you.
Her name is Kim.
Are you 4?
All right. She'll just sit.
Gary called her the driven kid.
Yeah. My daughter, my 15-year-old said she's the driven daughter. But I have four daughters, so they're all gonna have to fight over that one, I guess.
I'm gonna go run this. I'm gonna go drop off this delivery. I just want to stop by and say hi, and I just been itching to ask that question, but I never see Tony on live, so I wanted to ask about the.
Yeah,
Teslas.
I'm on a lot of lives. It's just that I'm not able to really chat on them because I have them just running in the background on YouTube Premium.
Well, thank you,
No,
Cody. Come by again.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Right. Bye. Let's get it.
See ya. Let's get it.
Well, thank you, Tony. I really appreciate it. I love seeing your daughter.
Thank you. So I know that we've kind of went way past your cutoff time, haven't we?
A little bit. It's all good.
All right. Well, I'll drop off
gonna
here
wrap
and let you do your wrap up. Oh, you see my lighting changing? She's got the remote.
We'll come back again.
All right. I appreciate you letting me test out my studio on your live.
Anytime. Bye.
See ya.
Okay, everyone. So I am going to be wrapping it up for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed talking to a lot of people tonight. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I am here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Hopefully, you guys come back again next Tuesday. And kind of my lineup for the week. I believe, I'm not going to speak for EDM's channel, but I believe we're going live tomorrow at 3 p.m. for Gig Talk Live. And then on Thursday, I'm with Steve, Rideshare Rodeo at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. And I think that's the rest of my week. If you haven't done it already, don't forget to give this live a thumbs up before we leave today. And guys, if you're driving, please stay safe and healthy. Remember, kindness is always free. I love you guys, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, everyone.